Skinny fat physique. That is the number one problem for 90% of the people trying to transform their physique. It's a really bad spot to be in. Or is it? Well, you are skinny fat for two reasons. You have no muscle while you are also a little chubby. Sounds like a really difficult situation to get out of, right? But it really isn't. You just need to stop overcomplicating it, because the solution is very simple. What you need to understand about being skinny fat is that this is not a bad place to be in. It's the exact opposite. You are about to make the craziest transformation of your life in the upcoming year. Just because that if you are skinny fat, it means that you are either a beginner or someone who didn't train for a long time. So when I finally show you what you have to do, you will see your physique change right before your very eyes. Your first step on your way to an awesome physique is realizing that the biggest problem you need to take care of is the first part of the word skinny fat. Yes, you are skinny and you have no muscle at all. That is what is causing all the problems. And yes, even the fact that you are chubby is caused by you having zero muscle. But how is that possible? It's because everything is connected. Your lifestyle, your activities, your diet, everything has an impact on how you look like. When you finally decide to get off your couch and start lifting, the calories that are needed to maintain your current weight will naturally increase, just because you are finally more active than before. And as you keep on lifting, you will gain more and more muscle each month. And naturally, the more muscle you have, the more calories are needed to maintain them and to grow them even more. Which then automatically starts to take care of the problem with the second part of the word skinny fat. Yes, the excess fat will start to go away, even if you keep on eating the same calorie amount as before. However, that doesn't mean that you should be eating crap like you are used to. Your main focus should be on getting in your protein and on eating clean foods. That's all that matters. You don't need to worry about if you should eat in a slight calorie deficit or at a maintenance. That's not really that important. Because you are not going to overeat if you only eat clean foods. That just doesn't happen. If you stop eating garbage and stay away from sugary drinks, I can guarantee you that even without counting calories, you will be somewhere between maintenance and a slight calorie deficit. And if you are skinny fat, that's exactly where you want to be. The only thing that you really need to count is the protein amount. That's what your diet should revolve around. I would highly recommend you to consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Yes, our science-based friends will say that it could be a little lower, but when you think about it more, we are trying to build a diet where we only count the protein amount, and the rest of your diet will rely on our intuition. And because protein is very satiating, using more of it will help us to not overeat and to not crave some snacks once you are done eating. So that's why going with 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is exactly where you want to be. But that's not all. Once you calculate your daily protein intake, you will also need to spread it out evenly throughout your day. And that's because of muscle protein synthesis. That is the process that is responsible for building muscle. Every time you eat a decent amount of protein, so at least like 20 plus grams, you give your body an opportunity to build more muscle. And because we want to have as many opportunities to build muscle as possible, we need to spread out our daily protein intake between roughly 3 to 6 meals. It really doesn't matter which number of meals you choose exactly if you remain within this range. And as long as you don't eat all of your protein in 1 or 2 meals, then you will be completely fine. So let me quickly show you an example of how you could do this. Let's say that you weigh 160 pounds, which means that your daily protein intake is 160 grams, and you decide that you want to eat 4 meals per day. So you divide the 160 grams of protein by the number of meals per day, which in this example would leave us with 40 grams of protein in each meal. This is the number you should aim for each one of your meals. You don't need to hit this number exactly, you just need to be close to it. Because the most important thing is that you eat all of your protein at the end of the day. Once you know this number, your goal is to add a high quality protein source to each one of your meals. I would highly recommend writing it down on paper. This way there is some structure to your diet. This process is really simple. Let me show you. So let's say that in meal 1 we will use 3 eggs, which is 19 grams of protein, plus 200 grams of egg whites, which is 21 grams of protein, giving us the 40 grams of protein necessary for this meal. In meal 2, we will go for 150 grams of canned tuna, which is roughly 37 grams of protein. In meal 3, we will use 165 grams of chicken breast, giving us roughly 40 grams of protein. And in the last meal, we will go for 200 grams of Greek yogurt, which is 20 grams of protein, plus a scoop of protein powder, which is roughly 22 grams of protein, combining for a total of 42 grams of protein in this meal. And once you have attached your main protein source to each one of your meals, your job is basically done. Now you can just fill in the rest of the meals with whatever clean food that you want, so most likely some form of carbs. Tired of chicken and rice? Then have chicken and potatoes instead, or whatever else you currently crave. It doesn't matter how much rice or whatever other carb source you wanna add, just eat until you feel satiated. And of course, don't forget about fruits and veggies, not just because that you want to be healthy, but because most of them taste amazing. So as long as you keep on eating clean foods, you don't have to worry about anything, it will all work out. This approach is great for beginners and returning lifters because it makes you focus only on things that really matter and doesn't stress you with stuff that you don't need to worry about. But diet is only one part of the equation. The other part is what you do in the gym. Because as we have established before, the main issue with being skinny fat is that you just don't have any muscle. So your main goal should be to focus on the basics. Because as with setting up your diet, you also need to set up and learn the basics of training. Here I would highly recommend you to use my beginner training routine. It focuses on all the basic movement patterns and will guarantee your muscle building success in the future. It is a 4-day split that consists of workout A and workout B, which you can schedule either like this or like this. This is what I would recommend you to run for at least 3 to 6 months. In that time period, you will learn all the basic movement patterns and you will be ready to move on to more advanced stuff. And by advanced stuff, I mean taking this beginner training routine and slowly starting to add more isolation exercises to it. And when I say slowly, I really mean slowly. Spend the first 3 to 6 months doing this routine without any changes. And after that time period, you can for example add some triceps isolation exercise into the mix. And then spend a couple of weeks trying to master the exercise that you just added. And only add more once you are sure that what you are doing is correct. This will guarantee that your muscle building journey is smooth and rewarding. And as you learn more and more, you will be ready to transition into a more advanced training plan that will take your physique to the next level. So once you finish the beginner routine, I would highly recommend you to hop on one of my training plans that are still taking advantage of the basics, so you will be able to pick it up right away without feeling confused or overwhelmed. And after you got both your diet and training set up, the only thing left to do is to just keep being consistent. The first year of your bodybuilding journey will be the most fun and most rewarding. I can honestly tell you that I'm a little bit jealous of you right now, just because of how amazing it is to progress every week and see your body transform in real time. If this doesn't get you addicted to lifting, then I don't know what will. It really is the best part of your bodybuilding journey. I, after more than 10 years of lifting, would be so glad to experience this again. Because the longer you lift, the slower everything gets. So if you think that it's already too late for you, then you are wrong. It's never too late. You just need to tell to yourself, no matter what happens, I will dedicate myself to the gym for the next 365 days. And once those 365 days are up, you will be amazed by what you have achieved. It really is that simple. You just need to put your head down and not get distracted or discouraged. Don't compare yourself to anyone, don't try to reach perfection, don't overcomplicate. It's just a battle of you versus you. Those who stay consistent will reach greatness, but those who give up will stay skinny fat forever. Oh wow, this video looks great! Go check it out!